was like, oh, maybe that's like, is that the end of an era?
I couldn't let go of my hand.
Is that like, is it going to be so hard to do it on my own? But it became easier.
It's like a kid, like I'm tearing this ice cream away from his hand. He's like crying.
You are really flattering yourself. It was. Welcome back to another episode of A Clever DJ with Ilya.
What's up, guys? My name is Nino, and this is episode number 12.
Number 12.
Yes, sir. We got a nice episode lined up for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this one. A lot of bantering going on.
A lot of bantering because today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of DJing. We're going to focus on the cons just because, not because we're negative, just because everyone always thinks, oh, being a DJ is so awesome. You make so much money.
It is.
Oh, you just play music and they pay you for it.
Yeah, it's true though.
Yeah, like how many years were you doing it before you got to that level?
Oh man, long time, man.
Right.
But yeah, I can't even see. There's a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of downsides to DJing as well.
And even now, when you're doing so well, the downsides are just more emphasized because
sometimes you're in the middle of a gig and think, why am I still doing this?
I have enough money. I can start a different business. I have enough capital.
Yeah,
but you just love it.
Yeah, you just love it. Yeah, playing music for people, it's a passion. And music, man, music makes the world go round, right? So there's a lot of good stuff, but we're just gonna emphasize more on the bad stuff, which is.
Let's start with the first one.
Let's do it.
It's a lonely job.
Yes.
Now, you're surrounded by people, but you usually don't know who they are. And normally they don't care about you other than the fact that, oh, he's a cool DJ. Yeah, he's going to play music for us. But you don't, you're not with the people you want to be with pretty often, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we were talking about before we actually started recording.
Yeah, it's true. Now, sometimes certain gigs you can bring a friend along, right? But a lot of the times they're going to be busy because you're usually doing gigs on the weekends, right? And they have family functions and other stuff. So they're not going to always be around for you to come with you, right? So a lot of times you're going to be doing gigs alone.
Yeah.
And that's the fact of the matter. It's a lonely gig. You have to learn everything on your own as well, unless you were learning with friends. But honestly, to get better, you got to focus on your own. So
yeah. And that's something I learned firsthand.
Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff with you, but until I just kind of branched off, and it was scary when I realized we're going to do less things together. I know. I was like, oh, maybe that's like, is that the end of an era?
I couldn't let go of my hand.
Is that like, is it going to be so hard to do it on my own? But it became easier.
It's like a kid, like I'm tearing this ice cream away from his hand. He's like crying.
You are really flattering yourself. It was fun. It was fun though. It was. But at a certain point, I realized we're just hanging out. I'm not learning anymore. And I was like, you know what? It's a weekend. I could be getting gigs right now. Or you could be
practicing. Yeah, and getting better.
Yeah, and getting gigs. And I branched off, right? And I started doing things by myself. And, you go to different cities. You, as a beginner especially, you don't really have somebody to come with you. And even if you do, they're busy usually. They have a regular job and a regular life where on the weekend they're seeing their family or they have some fun plans somewhere, right? So here I am by myself and brand new in this industry and just trying to make it. Yeah. And you're happy by yourself. You're scared before a gig by yourself. You're, having like this like crazy beautiful moment by yourself. So that's why I'm happy that it's recorded, because then we can like share it with each other and like you upload it online and whatever. But it's a very lonely industry.
Especially when you're starting out, right?
Now the thing is, I'm not just talking from experience, right? Because experience wise I can't talk much about this stuff, but I watched a lot of documentaries, about big time DJs and how they tour around the world, and they don't have time with family, friends. They're just playing gig, and they take pills to fall asleep, to wake up, and it's just that's the next
life. It's really hard on your body, your sleep schedule.
Irregular sleep schedules. Right? Usually you are up at night.
Always,
but it depends until what time. It's just, it really throws your system.
It does. It does. And the flying different time zones and stuff, it really takes a toll on you once you...
Even driving, like we drive for 2-3 hours to one location. You usually can't stay because you have another gig the next day.
Yeah.
Or you have other responsibilities, right?
Always.
So...
You've seen it firsthand. I've done it, like...
no so you had that gig. So personal life, you were moving.
Yes.
And I helped you move.
Yes.
And I was already done. I was done because I also wasn't sleeping because I was preparing for other gigs and then helping you in between.
Me move. And then I had a gig in between. No sleep before. I just okay.
And I'm not
even going to sleep. I'm just going to go stay awake and then just go to straight to my gig. And I drove 2.5 hours
Niagara
up
Falls.
north. Oh yeah, Niagara Falls. Holy crap!
And all the way back as well.
All the way back as well.
No rest.
Yeah.
Stayed up all night with me. Prepared for the gig in the morning. Just all the things you need to do. Drove to Niagara.
Smashed the wedding, and then drove back, and then. Packed again and moved.
Yes,
the next day.
Finished.
We finished moving. Oh my gosh.
And then you slept for like 2 days, remember?
Yeah, 2 days straight. So, yeah, that was really strange.
Nino was incapacitated for a couple of days.
Jeez,
but
man.
The first 2 points, very lonely. And I'm not trying to, complain here or whatever, but it really is. Mm-hmm. Not good on your body. Very stressful when it comes to your body. Irregular sleep schedule. You usually believe, like, whether you want to admit it or not, you usually eat
terrible
because
usually you eat. You're done a gig at like 2 or 3 o'clock if you're in a club, and then you're hungry. Of course, right? You've been DJing the whole time, so you're hungry. You grab some McDonald's.
Or you eat there, and I'm not saying it's not high quality food, but it's restaurant food or venue food.
It's just like
it's not good for you.
Junk food like pizza or what, like tacos or something.
Not even that, like even the steaks and risotto or whatever. Like to eat that every day, like every weekend, it's fattening. It's I mean, yeah, you can stick to the vegetables or whatever they have, but you're not going to.
No, of course not.
So. Again, it's really hard to just focus on the negatives because all of this stuff is also so much fun. I can say, oh, the food's amazing. Oh, it's fun to be up at night and DJ and, like celebrate with people.
It is.
Right? It's nice to have your own business and you don't have to go with people all the time and you can do things by yourself. But, it doesn't always feel so much fun. Irregular income.
Especially when you're starting out. You're gonna have a gig here like a month, and then next month you have no gig, and then the next month you have maybe one gig, a bar gig that's like pays like a couple of $100,
and you just have to do it.
You just have to do it, and then of course you're not gonna be doing that full time. You're gonna have a full-time job because you can't support yourself.
Yeah,
literally, right? So irregular income, definitely, until you start getting very regular. You have to be promoting yourself, marketing yourself properly and stuff. And it takes a while. It's not something that just comes right away. It takes years for people to get to know you, your name, and to give you word of mouth as well. So
to have a brand, to actually be recognizable, to really have consistent gigs and to be paid well for each gig.
It takes a while.
So it takes time. It takes creativity.
And you got to be good, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody's going to hire you if you're not a good DJ. Like rehire you, of course. Like you got to make a good impression. But it's irregular. All
right, there's a big one. Missing family functions, important life events.
Yeah. That's it's happened to me so many times that I've missed birthdays, big birthdays. My sister had a 18th birthday, and I wasn't there. I was DJing, right? And yeah, I felt bad that I couldn't do it. And the thing is, I could have canceled it, but I booked it already a couple of years in advance. So I was like, oh man. And the couple really wanted me, so I couldn't back out. There's no way.
You couldn't say anyone
I couldn't
else,
say
right?
no. I was already committed that time. So it happens a lot. You're gonna miss a lot of family functions, life events. Like,
Even if it's, like dinner, like your weekly dinner with your parents.
yeah, you feel guilty because you're not present, right, with family.
There it is. That's the word. You're not present.
different.
You're just you work all the time, and when you
Yeah.
don't work, you either rest or prepare for the next big thing. Or it's also a hobby. Like sometimes I don't have to do anything, but I still end up,
It is.
looking for new music or learning a new skill just because I enjoy it, not because I have to at that moment, right?
And a lot of things are on the weekends, of course, where
lot of things
a
on the
lot of the
weekends.
family functions happen.
You said you don't do New Year's Eve anymore.
Yes, I was actually going to say that. I did New Year's Eve for the first maybe 5-10 years.
New Year's Eve gigs, he means.
Yeah, gigs, New Year's Eve gigs. Now I overprice my New Year's Eve gig just to get out of it, so I don't feel bad if I don't get a New Year's Eve gig, because I feel guilty not spending it with my family instead of spending it with like not even friends, people that you don't know. Like imagine this. Like the countdowns, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New
Year! Everybody's like hugging and kissing each other, toasting each other, champagne toast, and you're there by yourself. Yay! Happy New Year!
By myself.
It's sad. It's sad. So it's like, yeah, I don't take New Year's gigs just because of that, and a lot of. Right now, a lot of life stuff like birthdays, my daughter's birthday, and stuff like that. I try to book it off just for that, but it's hard sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes, like you said, even though you have a team, even though you have this whole like serious business, and you can be flexible, they want you.
They want
specifically,
me, so
right?
it's you're set. You can't sway really from that.
I was thinking, once I get to a level where I have a whole team, it's going to be a bit more relaxing, but it actually gets worse because now you have so much more responsibility, right? No more weekend. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
You
have no more social life, really, right?
Last time I saw my friends, you're my friend, but I mean, like, last time I saw my friends.
I'm just joking. I'm your friend.
Oh man, that's long.
It's a long cricket. Right there.
When was it? I mean, there were a couple of times here and there, but like it almost never happens because during the week they're busy, and we're older now, right? So everyone has families,
We
like
all have
kids,
own jobs and stuff.
People
9 to 5s.
spend way more time with our parents too now, as we are getting older too. So
Yeah.
Sundays are like for if you don't have a gig on Sundays, right?
It's family days.
It's a family day.
a family
so
day.
even with us, right? We can't record on Sundays usually. So so that's a big one. No more weekends. Next one's no social life. We kind of
Same thing. But then again,
went over
the
that.
upside of that is your DJing is your social life as well. You get to meet people out in public.
Keep in mind, we're just being negative right now.
So, well, I'm trying to be positive right now.
No, like this episode.
This whole this list
right?
is negative.
I mean,
But-
you could find. I could just.
You can turn it around. So the
the
contrast is that your social life is your DJing and meeting people, right? Because obviously you're going to be DJing for people, and people are going to make requests. You're going to talk to people, and they're going to come up to you, and you can socialize with them, right?
I think when that movie came out, Oppenheimer.
Did you watch that? I didn't watch it yet.
So I didn't watch it.
Why?
My buddy, I haven't seen him in a very long time. He moved back. He moved away from Canada and then moved back. And one of the biggest things that we were gonna do together was like go back to the movies because we used to watch movies a lot.
Yes.
And he was here maybe for like a month or two back from where he moved to. And that was one of the first hangouts with him and all of our friends.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, I bought like 5 or 6 or 7 tickets to Oppenheimer. You know, we're all going out. And I had a gig. I couldn't.
Oh.
Right? So it's not a big deal to miss going to the movies, but what this was really special. And then I just never ended up watching it.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, hey, you want to watch it?
Isn't it like a 3-hour movie or something?
I hear it is.
I'm going to fall asleep watching it for sure. I don't know if I can last
3 hours.
3 hours.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's just a bunch of examples, right? I mean, my gig was awesome. It was a lot of fun. But, yeah, I was thinking, oh, they're all there now, having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having a good time, but by myself.
It's different, right?
And I just wanted to hang out with him. Like, he was away for 2 years. And then he comes back. I see him once, right? And we're all busy all the time. And then the next big hangout was to go to the movies, maybe a bar after. And I just I couldn't go with them.
Life happens, man. People are busy.
Yeah.
As we get older, of course.
No social life, again, or very limited social life, let's say. We spoke about this. Sleeping late hours, weakened immune system.
Yeah, and because you're sleeping late, of course, you
get sick.
You get sick easier. You get colds.
Your allergies are like just flaring up.
You have bad allergies.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta take like my allergy medicine with me everywhere I go, or like I could start sneezing like 20, 30 times in a row and I can't stop.
And you don't sneeze at gigs when it happens?
No, I make sure I am at my best before I go to a gig.
Do you take allergy medicine before?
One before, and I take a couple with me just in case.
Okay.
So far, so good. I never had a sneezing outburst or something like
and
that.
This guy's also allergic to shrimp and shellfish. I always try to give him shrimp. So we make sure that there's a hospital nearby, like 5 minutes away. So he always, just in case.
No, you're good. You're good about it. He actually realized I'm about to eat shellfish.
There was one time. No, there was one time that you did. You did eat it.
That was at your friend's baby shower.
No, there was a wedding too. I remember you actually ate
that was lobster, like calamari, right? Or it was lobster.
It was lobster, and I was like, "Yo, you ate it!" And then you realize, and then you started to say, "Oh, my throat is starting to close up. I gotta get some air." I'm like, "Oh shoot!"
I remember what the place looked like. I forget what it was called.
The Guild Inn.
Okay, that was it.
Yes, it was.
And your friends with the photo booth were there.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Just outside the main hall.
I remember that day.
And
very
it
clearly.
was. Funny enough, I was never allergic to shrimp. I used to love to eat it, and lobster, and crab, and calamari. And then one day, boom, just red lobster. Just I don't know what happened. Was it red lobster? No, it was actually my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
it's a funny story. So I was like, I'm gonna go in person. I'm gonna end it nicely. You know, we were kids, man, early 20s, maybe 20 years old. And I said, okay, well, I think today is the day I'm going to tell her. And her family invites me over. And I'm like, kind of awkward. Like, fine, okay, like maybe for a few minutes. And then they make dinner and they ask me, oh, you want to eat with us? I'm like, it was such a situation where I couldn't say no.
Okay.
And then I eat with them and we eat jumbo shrimp. And then it just... like we went out for a walk so I can like talk to her, and I'm like, I won't say her name, but I'm like, I feel like I just swallowed a bee or like a mosquito or something. It was just such a weird new feeling, and then within like half an hour I could barely breathe. So yeah, and then just 1 + 1, and I realized that it was a shrimp allergy.
Oh man. I don't know how you can go through life with
I love
seafood.
Shrimp.
I love seafood. I don't know if I can.
I can have a little bit of calamari, and I feel like it's starting, but it's not really doing. It's not like really like full force.
You should just go all out and just eat all you can, so you can get immune to it.
I want to find a way to do that, but apparently it gets worse.
You should just eat seafood at the hospital.
Yeah, right.
And just be in the emergency.
With like an EpiPen.
Yeah, just ready to go.
I'll let you guys know if one day I beat my my shellfish allergy. I just decided to.
I'm just gonna sneak one in your food next time. A shrimp.
I wish. I mean, it's just shrimp.
I don't know how I can go on without eating
delicious.
shrimp ever again.
We're foodies. We love food. We love to eat, and I love sushi. Right? I could eat sushi for like months.
So
and
fish
not get tired of it.
you're okay with, but not shellfish stuff.
Yeah. Not shellfish. And specific type, I think lobster and shrimp specifically. Other stuff too.
Like scallops. What about scallops?
I tried like a small piece, like a tiny piece, like half your fingernail.
No tingling?
No, not at all. Tasted really like salty and funky. But yeah. And you know what? When we were at your friend's baby shower or like reveal.
Yeah, the baby reveal.
Yeah.
Gender
That
reveal.
one, the gender reveal, that's what it was. I had that Filipino food that like, what was it?
Was it the pancit?
Pancit.
With the shrimp in it?
So I'm like, this chicken is awesome. I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, I haven't had, like, I don't know what this is, but this tastes really good. And I'm like,
Because you haven't had it in a long time.
like many years, right? I'm 34 now. So at least over a decade.
Oh, man.
Wow, it's been a while. So
10 years without shrimp. Oh, man.
people who actually suffer from like serious like illnesses are probably looking at me like this guy is talking about like his shrimp allergy like it's something. No, I'm serious though. Like it's just like I had it and I thought, did you realize it? No, I told you I feel funky. Like I feel.
On that day?
And then you looked at my plate and you're like,
oh, shoot, you had some of the pancit. Because it always comes with shrimp. That
not that one. Last time wherever we ate it,
Oh,
it
yes.
was chicken.
There was one time that did.
Where was it?
I have no idea. One of those Filipino functions.
But you know what? At the one the community like festival thing you were doing.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, like I wasn't feeling like I'm about to choke there. It was more like I was about to hurl.
Why?
My body was rejecting it, but I was like, if that's all I'm gonna feel after eating shrimp, I'm cool with
Maybe
like
you're allergic to chicken now.
feeling like crap for about half an hour to an hour, but not breathing. No, that's a game changer.
Yeah. Okay, moving along. Jeez, shrimp allergies.
It affects my life, man.
Yeah. So that's what DJing does to you.
That's what DJ
You
does
get
to you.
shrimp allergies.
It was way before I was a DJ, but hearing loss.
Yes, because of loud music, we live beside like speakers. So literally,
Usually that's how I wear my headset, just like that.
yeah.
My headphones, and at the end of the gig, I feel like they're still on my left ear, and it's like there's this like high pitched tone.
Because usually one side we keep on so we can hear what we're hearing in the mix, and then one side we want to hear the actual speakers that are coming coming out
someone's
into the
talking to
crowd, right? Or if somebody's going to talk to you, you're going to have to open it. So
Or they're announcing the shrimp buffet.
So we have to listen to loud music all the time, and the speakers are usually beside us, so they're blaring at us, and then sometimes tinnitus, right? Yeah, you have some high pitched sounds, a
So you
hearing.
it could happen.
Yeah.
And if your friends buy you very expensive earplugs and you don't wear them, that's kind of your fault.
Yeah, I know you gave it to me. I know. I just forgot, man. But I have them still. Yes.
There's two of them too. I was
There
should
is.
I take one? I'm like, no, I'll give them both. This way you can keep one here. You don't even use them.
Yeah, because these are noise canceling earphones already.
But it's not about that. It's not about noise canceling.
Yes.
That cancels certain frequencies
Yes, I know.
to not destroy your hearing.
You bring it out to concerts and stuff too.
So it
right?
still sounds the same almost, or the same, but your ear is not getting affected.
It's
by
not
it.
piercing that piercing sound that damages your eardrum.
Literally, what I hear after a gig is,
Yeah.
and you know what it means? It means that you literally lost some hearing.
You're still good. You're still good,
I know, but like I find myself sometimes going like, what?
bro. Wait after like 5 years, you'll be like, oh my gosh.
No, I'm gonna get those for myself too. Actually wear them though.
Yeah, me on the other hand, I have my hearing has gone down a lot. Like I notice I have to repeat myself, and people talk to me. I'm like, what? And they're like right beside me. So I'm like, yeah, it's a problem.
Vision.
Vision, yeah, you're
always
staring,
squinting, looking,
staring at your computer screen the whole time. You know, not engaging with the audience. You're stuck. Your face is stuck to that, and it's very bad for your eyes. So
yeah, you're like looking for all the requests. People just decided it was a good idea to come and ask for a bunch of tracks.
Thinking about the next song to play. You're looking at your library at the same time, sweating buckets because the song is ending while you're looking. So yeah, bad eyesight, bad hearing,
back problems. I remember because I don't have all the gear you have. I don't have that. I was gonna get it. Boxing. It was a big sale, and then I didn't get it. The memory foam.
The memory foam. Oh, the memory mat, the foam mat.
What a difference standing on it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then not standing on it. So I don't have that. That's not that expensive. But I don't have that. I don't have the flight case. That's like as expensive as my controller, pretty much.
It makes your controller weigh like 3 times more heavier than it actually
No, I'm
is.
saying it raises it.
Yes.
So now I don't have to like bend over the table.
Yes.
Kind of like trying to like, right? So sometimes after a gig, I feel like I was like doing back workout for like an hour, but in a bad way, like I threw out my back or something.
Yeah, well, in general, if you're standing and we have to stand for hours on end.
Long
to do
gigs, like 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah, 5 hours, 6 hours. And if you're not used to it, of course, and if you have your bad shoes and stuff, bad insoles, it takes a toll on your back.
And I was way more overweight back then too, so that really
it adds to it. Right?
Yeah.
It really, it does. So weight loss. What else is there?
Oh, that's a big one. Jealous girlfriends or wives. So DJing will really put a damper in your relationships, your romantic relationships. We already spoke about friends, we spoke about family, but we wanted to kind of separate this one. So I used to see my girlfriend every day, sleep over most of the week, or she would sleep here. So and I was still busy. I'm still a busy person, but it was doable with some creativity, flexibility. It was doable. I don't see her for 2-3 weeks at a time now. I either prepare for a gig or I don't just do gigs. You know, I started a couple projects and expanding, doing different things, more revenue streams, and it takes time to prepare for them to build relationships, right? And all I do is DJing now in one way or another. And it just requires so much of your time. And there's a lot of industries that are like that. But we're specifically talking about DJing.
Yeah. You know what it is? Especially if you meet your girlfriend or your wife at an event, at like a club, you met her there, right? And then your relationship formed. And, you're maybe a month or years into your relationship, and you have to work at the club again. So there's that inkling, that feeling that hey, if he met me at the club,
is this a personal experience?
Bro, trust me, it's happened to so many of my friends, and no, it's not a personal experience, but yeah, I know it's happened before. But think about it, right? If you met your girlfriend at the club or an event, and you're always out on every weekend at events, it'll make her think like, it raises like flags, right? It's like, oh my gosh, what if this guy's, especially if you're fighting with your girlfriend at the time, and then you go out, I have to go to my gig. What makes
he's going to be surrounded by all these women. He's going to be so happy DJing.
Gosh. So it raises flags, man. Make you guys fight. And that's the thing, right? When we're in this industry, there's the trust. Yeah. It's very hard to build that. Yeah.
So, and I was going to say something else. I forget what it was. But it's definitely something that I think everyone experienced.
What?
This.
Oh, yeah. As DJs.
Jealous.
For sure.
Jealous partners.
For sure.
girlfriends, boyfriends,
For sure.
husbands, wives.
Especially if you take them along at your gigs, right? Sometimes there'll be girls that request. There's always going to be girls that request. They're not going to know that your girlfriend's behind you, watching you, and then this hot girl comes in and requests a song, and she's talking to you for like 2 or 3 minutes. And what is? And then your wife is or girlfriend's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And she's coming like really close, requesting songs, and then meanwhile you just can't hear her. That's why she's coming real close. And jealousy comes, you know.
And you know what? Like, one more thing, and you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
One more thing when it comes to this stuff. You can't be all like, even if you wanted to, even if you really feel like they're in your personal space. I don't know many guys who would do that, but or anyone, but hey, don't get so close to me. Or like, hey, my girlfriend's right over there. No, you got to be charismatic. You got to be fun, right? If they're like, smothering you, I mean, like beyond like a reasonable
like if
level.
they're putting like their arm around you, then yeah,
like
I'd
the
be
stuff.
You don't need to do that, right?
What I told you on one of those gigs, what she said to me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that was messed up, and I'm not gonna say it here, but I'm like, wow. But I still had to keep like fun with her because she is the sister of the client. She's the client's sister.
Oh yeah.
And if I go like,
she was flirting with you hard.
yeah, and she
Hard.
was drunk. She was really drunk.
You
too.
can tell.
But like she was still very aware of what she's doing.
Of course.
And I remember she wanted my phone number, and what I did was, oh, let me take yours, and I took her phone number down.
She never called her.
No, and I wrote it on my computer, so she sees that I'm writing it, but I didn't write it in my phone. And once she walked away, Alt F4, don't save.
You tricky guy.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, my moral compass, I wouldn't do something like that to anyone.
Yeah, because you're in a relationship right now too, right? So,
I just, like to cheat on someone. I don't want to live with that.
all right, you're a good guy.
I try. The temptation is there. I'm not saying it's not.
That's another downside of DJing. Temptation.
Yeah, and if it's a client of yours, I mean, I had several opportunities with the client or someone who's really close to them, and the first thing I was thinking about wasn't, oh, I just missed out on an opportunity that could have been so much fun. No, I'm thinking like, I want to get another gig with them. I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah.
I want to be professional, right? And let alone I'm in a relationship.
It also
so
depends on how hot they are too. And that's I
not
know.
for me, man. I just like I have a serious divide between the two. The client like relationship for me, it's very serious for me at least.
Okay.
But hey, that's just year 2. Let's see how that develops. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, you never know, man. Never know.
So that's a big one. And then lastly,
It's a very it's a very expensive.
that's I barely spend any money on this.
Okay, so you're leaving that to me. Yeah, it is a very expensive gig, especially if you want to get the best equipment out there, and you kind of have to stay with the times and have the best stuff, right? You don't technically have to, but you want to have
Stay
good
current.
stuff. Stay current, right?
Yeah,
But you're
so-
more impressing the DJs more than anybody else. Clients don't really care about that stuff, but it's very expensive. Like if you're buying lights, you have to buy microphones, and a lot of stuff breaks down. Speakers, if you buy cheap at the beginning, you'll find out very quickly that they're not very reliable. So it's
everything. You have to have a car, usually a bigger car. Gas, maintenance on your car is a lot more frequent.
Yes.
Oil changes,
Yeah.
your tires, just everything. Everything is just,
More
your life
expensive.
became automatically a lot more expensive. And then you can't deny the fact that now you're a DJ and you have a lot more wants. You go to the store like, oh, like that will make my gear better.
look at
Or, oh, that's going to be fun.
Look at that.
Yeah, let's get this.
want that.
It's just a very expensive hobby and then a career.
Well, it's not really a hobby if you're gonna take it to the next level, right?
Yeah, so either or, like if you choose to do it, it's going to cost you some big bucks.
But it is.
I
So,
think one of the only things that I can think about like right away that's more expensive is photography and videography. The gear they have to buy, just a camera is like $4,000 or $5,000.
yeah, I think it kind of evens out. Well, we have a lot more gear in general than them. They have the cameras, right? I would think
the
cameras,
lights are super expensive.
lenses, and their computers have to be lightning fast too. So they have to really have that stuff. Right?
Yeah, the computer. My buddy has a studio. His computer is $25,000.
Yeah, man.
Because they got that like MacBook or like the Mac. What is it called? Studio or like I forget what it's called.
The desktop one.
That station one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even. I think the most expensive one's like 40 grand or something or more than that.
They're crazy prices,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, you have to get fast M3 ones, the newest stuff, for turnaround for the clients,
it's just an expensive industry. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to do this topic because I love DJing. I know I'm new to this. You know, it's been like what, a couple of years or more like a year for me. But it's important.
Hey,
right?
being realistic, man. I have to
Gotta be realistic.
I went through all this stuff,
right? And I'm
right?
probably gonna feel some of these things more than I did thus far. But yeah, oh, you know what? We didn't speak about that.
What?
It's a super, super competitive and saturated industry.
Yes. That is very, very true. There's so many companies, DJs out there. Because it's so easy to get music nowadays, everything's online. You don't have to carry crates of records or CDs anymore. You can carry literally your whole library on a USB stick. Crazy. So
Yeah.
it's so accessible, so easy to pick up on. So everybody's a DJ nowadays, but
Yeah, so it's easy to do, but not to master.
Yes.
That's why I think if you don't let it stress you out, how many people are DJs now or producers?
there are tons.
And you just like get into it and you practice properly, and then you separate yourself from that like 80% of people who are just
you got to take it serious to
taking it as a hobby.
Yeah. There's a difference. There's a lot of DJs that start out and then you just fizzle out and don't take it anywhere. But if you really want to get into this, man, yeah, you got to take it serious and practice.
It's very competitive also in a way that you make friends along the way, along the road, right? And then sometimes you don't even know if you should talk to them about something, because sometimes business is business. And, you know, while you don't really want to be that guy who just gets paranoid, oh, what if it's too early to tell them about that gig? And that happened to me when I was the one they didn't tell something about until like weeks later, right? And now I find myself in the same situation where I'm building my relationship with this client or with this venue. I'm going to tell them later, because I've seen some really nasty things happen in this industry. It's a cutthroat industry. So it's just, you know, like you're always watching over your shoulder.
Bro, it gets worse, man. Yeah. You're just the tip of the iceberg.
The stories
right now.
you were telling me.
Yeah, man. There's a lot, man.
So yeah, become a DJ. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's just last point, which really encompasses all of them. It's a very stressful industry, right? I'm reading from some notes I made here, and you know, it's talking about the working late hours, and it's talking about, you know, touring and just irregular diets and trying to like come up with proper sets and, you know, making sure you stay current, and just it never ends.
Yeah.
It's just a very, like, you always have to be focused.
It takes a toll on you physically and mentally as well. A lot of the stress comes from performing like in front of a big audience, right? And the fact that you are paid to make these people dance or just party, have a great time, and the stress on that is it will affect you a lot and get into your head.
You still feel that way? You told me before a gig sometimes.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. It keeps you sharp, right? If you don't have those butterflies in your stomach anymore, or the stress,
you don't care enough to do.
You don't care enough. Yeah. You have to care. You have to care about it. A lot of for the weddings on that side, you're responsible for making the day go well, for rocking the crowd, and just, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you because it's the most important day of their life, right? So it's all on you. So it's very, very stressful. You want it to go, you know, perfect, but a lot of times it doesn't go perfect. But you just make do.
And just to end on a positive note, we still do it because there are so many more pros than cons.
Yeah.
And it's just worth all of this bad stuff because there's really a lot of good stuff too. And the good stuff is obvious.
It is obvious.
It's very obvious, at least most of it. So that's why we chose to focus on this stuff today. But I think that's it. I think
we covered everything.
we covered most of it or all of it.
Yeah, man.
Well, there we go. One more episode.
Good job. This is episode number 12.
This is number 12.
Yeah,
we have one more for this month.
All right, guys. See you in the next one.
The next one.